Sai Ram and welcome to a new episode of Chai with Sai. If you have noticed, in the past we have done an introduction to the series of Ramayana. Today we're going to discuss even in depth on the characters of Ramayana. And for that, we have two very special guests with us who are, I can say confidently, I think, are experts on Ramayana. So I'm sure all of you are excited to know more about Ramayana, on the characters of Ramayana, and what significance they have to our lives today. So with that, let us go to our guests for today, Auntie Sudha and Sister Hamsa Vahini.
Sai Ram.
Okay, so we'll start with the first question. So, do you believe that the Ramayana was real? Maybe start with Auntie Sudha. Do you believe that Ramayana was
Yes,
real?
I believe. I believe in Ramayana. It's happened. So that's my belief. I believe in Ramayana. It's happened. It's not something we taking out from somewhere and joining as a story. It's really happened.
Any reason behind why you believe it was real, Auntie? Do you have any reasoning?
I believe in Vishnu's 10 avatars. Okay, so he's the 7th avatar. So then that is very, very small itself. We heard this story. We read a lot of books about it. Ramayana by Valmiki. I only read Ramayana from Valmiki. But so many other people also did commentary on it and all that. So, and I like the storyline. And there is certain things that it's proof that Ramayana really happened. Okay, so especially the bridge. So that one all not man-made bridge, So it's like all these things are leading to that Ramayana is a real story.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Hamsa? Do you believe that Ramayana was real?
I think, yeah, it is real. I remember someone asking me this question before, and I've answered it like the same way also. So I think it's real, but there probably are some instances where it might have been like exaggerated so that it's interesting, people hear it. So I do believe it's real because of the reason Auntie said. The bridge is still there. Some of the iconic locations are still there. We can still see it. So yeah, I don't think it's real.
I think I would tend to agree with Hamsa's point, right? So because the locations that were mentioned in the Ramayana, the architectural designs, I mean, if you have imagined something like that, it would have been like really, I don't know, maybe a genius level of imagination, because you cannot imagine certain things that were mentioned there, right?
Yeah.
Like the nuances, like what you said, Auntie, the bridge. Even today, I think they say that you see from satellite view, right? You can actually see there's a landmass that's connecting Sri Lanka and India, right?
It's a floating,
Yeah,
it's a floating one.
correct. And even in the cave depictions, especially I think in Sri Lanka, you notice, right, there's a lot of remnants of a possible, really advanced civilization that was living there.
That is true. In Sri Lanka, we can see more evidence than in India.
Correct. Yeah. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, in the Rameshwaram temple, there's even today, I think they're keeping some floating rocks. Rocks are floating in the water, right? You've been there?
That we went to the where the Rama took. Sometimes I'm forgetting the word. The Dakshinayeswara.
Which one, Auntie?
From Rameshwaram, we had to go around 2-3 kilometers away.
Okay.
That is where they built the bridge. So from there we went to a small temple, because after the tsunami, lot of things happened there. Everything destroyed. So what happened is that there is one small temple. It was a big temple those days. There's a well, small well, and there's a rock. So then the priest came and asked a lot of people, some Punjabis or big built and all that, can you carry this rock? Rock is only this, like this. It's floating in the water. So the Punjabi, okay, floating one easy to carry. Actually, notice or not, anything floating in the water, easy to carry, light. This man tried, cannot. Then his friends joined, again they tried, cannot. Then they told, it is so heavy, but it's floating. This is from the sea.
You saw this happen.
I saw, in front of me. I went and touched only lah. We didn't want to try it. So it was touching only. But I really amazed to see this. And the other guy, Jai Sri Ram, they're trying, cannot.
They're trying to be Hanuman.
Hanuman. But, they thought something floating is easier.
Easy to carry. Okay. Interesting, Auntie. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
I'll find out that word later, where the place.
And so, I mean, if you look at Ramayana, right? Ramayana was something that occurred in the Treta Yuga. If you see it, measure it in the modern scale, right? It's at least a few millions years ago, right? What's the scale?
Of course.
How do you think the story has survived, Auntie? Because I think now, like, if I tell something to Hamsa or what, right? Tomorrow the story is I'll hear from somebody else. No, I'll hear from somebody else in totally different version.
You forget.
What you trying to tell?
No, I mean, that's all right. That's the lifespan of stories, right?
That's the thing.
that's true.
It's lost
but
very
you
fast.
must understand, those days, we hear from the sages or the teacher, the guru, Guru Sishya. There is no notes there. So we had to listen, we had to understand. Okay? So in that way, these stories all hand over like that, they pass generation, second generation, like that it came. But without any variation or difference or anything. It mostly the same like the original Valmiki Ramayana.
I mean, but I think there could also be possibility why we also think that some of it might be exaggerated because like Auntie said, at that point of time, there's no nothing is being written down. Even if it's written down, it's probably on a leaf, and I don't know, maybe it's torn or what. So there are chances that some part of it is like probably didn't happen or happened in a different way. But I guess the gist of it is still probably the same lah.
Because it's the Ramayana itself quite big, so many verses inside. So of course they will write in the leaf, palm leaf and all that. It can lose, but it still survived. It's surviving. And where Hanuman, wherever we sing Ramayana, he will be there also. So his blessings also will be there.
Yeah. and I think while I think it's commonly agreed that Valmiki Ramayana is the original Ramayana that was
That is
written.
original Ramayana.
After that, right, so many different versions of Ramayana. I think nobody knows the exact count of how many different versions of Ramayana.
Hundreds of different variations came.
Yeah.
And every language, one Ramayana will be there. One man will be there.
Can you explain, Auntie, what's the different versions of Ramayana that you've heard or read?
What I know, I can
whatever.
tell.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. One is Ramcharitmanas, Tulsidas one. One is
written in
Avadi, actually, but is Hindi, but different version of Hindi. Locals language lah. Then another one is Kamba Ramayanam. I heard about it. It's very beautiful, very poetic, poetic Tamil one. In Malayalam, we call Adhyatmika Ramayanam. So it's like like a klipad, like a birds telling the story like that. That's the way they wrote it. Then any other Ramayanam, I'm not that sure lah.
So means like what you're saying is like it's the same story.
Same story, but different version.
Like how they are. Meaning how
they
are saying
in the interpretation will be changed, different. The commentary will be different. So if I read something, I understand in one way. So I write down that. Okay? And you read something, the same thing, but you understand in different way. Your version and my version will be our understanding, our perception. Okay? So all this.
Like I think one example I think could be is the version that Tulsidas wrote, right? The Ramacharita right? There's one depiction where, when it's an interaction between Lord Hanuman and Tulsidas. So Lord Hanuman said, I went to, in the writing, Tulsidas wrote that when in the forest, in the Ashokavana, right, they're surrounded by white flowers. Then Hanuman was saying, no, I was there. It was not white flowers, it was red flowers.
Red flowers.
Then they said, no, it's white flowers. Tulsidas is saying, because Hanuman was literally there, right? Then he said, no, actually, when you were in the Ashokavana, right, you saw Sita, you saw what's happening to the Sita, right? Your eyes were lit, with red, with blood. So that's why whatever you saw was red. Actually, it was white. So these kind of small things is
there
really
are
what
some
is the
differences
beauty.
are there also. In
It's
Valmiki
like a
Ramayana.
Yeah.
It's like a novel.
Tell me.
No, I said it's like a novel. You try to make something look, sound really like
correct.
interesting.
The thing is that in Valmiki Ramayana, there is no Lakshman Rekha,
I see. Okay.
But in Tulasi Das introduced this Lakshmana Rekha.
What's Lakshmana Rekha? Aunty?
Lakshmana Rekha is that when Rama go after the golden deer and he's cried and
okay.
Sita forced Lakshmana to leave the hut, So he actually don't want to go. He know that Rama, nothing will happen to him and all that. But then she forced him, so he drew a line and tell her that don't ever cross it. Okay, so she told, okay, I'll sit inside the Rekha. But when Ravana came, actually he cannot cross the line, no.
Yeah.
So he asked her to come out. When she crossed the line only, he snatched. But in Valmiki Ramayana, you won't see that.
Okay,
There is
so
no
I think
Lakshmana Rekha.
in a way that the Ramayana the modern version of Ramayana that we get
There's
currently is
certain
a
things,
mix of
that certain things they will add,
Add,
according to their this one.
Aunty, so
Okay.
if don't have Lakshmana Rekha, then how did Sita actually leave?
No, when he came and asked for this, she had to come out from the hut and give the alms, isn't it? So that time he's kidnapped her.
Variations lah.
Yeah. So since we are actually talking about, we are into the story already, right? So is there any stories or any parts of the Ramayana that people don't know about? Do you have anything that you remember? Something very, something that happened in the Ramayana that not a lot of people know about. Any incident? Do you remember?
Incident, there are a lot of things.
Yeah. So meanwhile, you're thinking, right? So while I was doing the research for this, right? So that's when I came to know that actually Rama was not the firstborn child of Dasharata.
Yes, Shanta. Shanta is the daughter.
The first was a daughter by the name of Shanta. So Rama was not Dasharata's firstborn
Actually,
child.
they don't have male children or hair, no. So
yeah,
that's
to take
why
over the
they
throne.
wanted, because any country they want to pass the country, the next person must be a male child. So their first born was a girl. Her name is Shanta, and she married to Rishyasringa, the person who did the Putrakamishti Yajna for Dasharata to conceive.
And I think there's actually a temple in the north which is dedicated to Shanta and
Rishyasringa.
Rishyasringa. So actually, they are being worshipped there as
Because
gods.
Rishyasringa is a very powerful sage. Wherever he visits, there is no rain. People will ask him to pray, to ask him to come here, because the moment he touches the land, it will rain. That type of a person. So he came and did the Putrakamishti Yajna. That's why it fertilized, isn't it? So he's known for fertilizing, So his hand touch anything, he will get everything. It will come out. The sprout will come out, everything. So that's why.
And do you recall anything? Any stories?
No, Ramayana.
Okay. Auntie?
I got a lot of good things about the characters, certain characters, villain characters and
Okay,
all that.
characters will come to it
Later.
So
That's
at
why
any
I
point of
then
time.
that's why I don't want to touch
yeah,
that.
okay. If any point of time you come up with some interesting fact, just let us.
Yeah, of course.
just
In
feel
the
free to
meanwhile,
share
we
with
go
us.
for it.
Sure.
Sometimes we can remember,
Yeah. So I have a bit of a fun fact about Ramayana. Just now I asked about the different versions of Ramayana that are there, right? So as Auntie said, it's Valmiki Ramayana is the base, right? Then the Adhyatma Ramayana, which is
That's in Malayalam.
in Malayalam. So that was actually more, how to say, it was not so much on the characters on the surface level. It's about what's the spiritual significance of each character. It's much deeper, taking into the Vedantic concepts of what each character stood for. It's a deeper version. And then there's Tulsidas Ramcharitamanas.
That is very simple Ramayana.
That's a
so because
simple
it's so full of devotion, so he wrote it like that.
Yeah. So that one. And then Kambar's Ramavataram is there. And also the thing about, there are certain Asian versions of Ramayana as well. So for example, Thai, right? Okay. In Thai, there's the Thai version of Ramayana is called Ramakian. And there's a Laotian version also. And there's a Javanese version, Kakawin Ramayana. So these are being presented, if you see certain Javanese, Balinese dances and all that things, right? Even today, I think if you go to Bali and all, the performances are being made, the dances based on Ramayana.
Even in Malaysia, there is shadow dance about Ramayana, isn't it?
Yes. What do you call this?
In Kelantan,
Wayang kulit, right?
shadow
yeah.
dance. So they will put Ramaya and this one the characters and they do the thing,
So similarly, I think there's a lot of different versions of Ramayana that we have heard, right? So even I think today also you can read.
Even, okay, if you're telling like that, Jainism got a Ramayana. Okay, then Buddhism got Ramayana, their version. So there are other types of. In Jainism is Rama won't kill Ravana, only Lakshmana will kill Ravana.
Okay.
Like that, certain things are there. But I don't know much about it. I just had a today I just going through. I just went, in between my work. So I saw Jainism Ramayana. I told, oh my goodness, I hope you won't ask me anything about Jainism Ramayana.
I think
So
anyway,
anyway,
that deep, but
so this is the only one I saw that Lakshmana killed.
I think literally, I think if you dedicate your whole life to studying Ramayana, I don't think you'll finish reading all the different versions of Ramayana. And I think even today, right, there's prominent writers, especially in India, right, they have taken a certain character from Ramayana and they've done adaptations based on that, and it's very interesting to read.
It's like from their point of view, right?
Yeah,
Of
it's
the
from
whole
their
thing.
point of
Yeah.
view.
So, I got a book. I don't know now after the flood I got or not, but this book is about after Sita left Rama, how Rama's feeling, Sons of Rama. The book's name. Book's name is Sons of Rama, and how Sita brought them the children, and how the country, Rama's country, because he was in a daze ready after she left us. Then he got some minister or somebody who was poisoning his mind. Even Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrugna, all, he is not allowing them to come near to him, not listening to his advice. That is his version. I don't know this will not happen or not. Finally, one day, that is the time he sent the sacrificing horse, Ashmedha Yaga. So the children took the horse. So, and he had to go because he hold it. So then he went. Suddenly he woke up from that sleep like that. He realized what is happening to him and surrounding and all that. So then he's asking for where is Lakshmana, where is this one. Even Hanuman also, he's not close ready, That is his version of thing. But finally he met Sita, but then the story about Sita, how she leave everything and going. So that version, when I read the book, I tell you, I bought from Indian airport. I started reading in the flight. I came back here, I don't know, 1 or 2 hours later, I sit down and finish the book. Then only I put the book down. So interesting, so sad, so frightening.
Because Rama itself can go through that means
that
like what
phase,
are we,
that phase. Because Sita is not, I think that one thing is, it's affected him. And slowly these people are, telling lot of things and all that. So he start believing that. And they get something from him. So they are very close. I know. But I don't know this is real story. There is the writer's imagination, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way of us authenticating
Yeah,
unless we have
that's
seen it
of course.
ourselves.
Nobody is there. But, so
But there are a few different versions I've read also, especially by modern writers. There's one, I think, very famous series now. It's the Ramachandra series by Amish Tripathi. I'm sure you've heard of the book, right?
Which one?
Ramachandra series. Basically, he's a writer. He's a fiction writer, but the story that he wrote is actually adaptation based on the Ramayana. So it's in 3 books. So the first one covers Rama's point of view of how things happen, and the second one is following Sita's point of view, and the last one is following Ravana's point of view. So it's a fiction, it's a fiction, but then the way how he it's about perspective really.
They trying to go into the minds of these characters.
Yes.
Correct. And I think that's partially the reason why, how many times, of course, Ramayana in and out, you know what will happen, the climax already. Any movie also, if you know the climax, you won't be rewatching it again. Right? But Ramayana is a story that regardless how many versions it's being told, it's still...
But still the
something
same. There are
interesting.
certain things are same. So they cannot change that.
Yeah, correct.
So that means that is the real story. They not change.
So I think now we'll get into the characters of Ramayana, right? So I think when we start the Ramayana, of course the Ramayana will start with Dasharata. So maybe Auntie, you want to give a bit of introduction on Dasharata?
Okay. Dasharata is the king of Ayodhya. And how he got that name? Okay, Dasharatha. Dasha means 10, Ratha means chariot. He can ride the chariot, 10 chariot at a time. Just some people tell, some people tell 10 different directions he can go. That fast he can go. That's why he always, the Devas all get into trouble, they will call Dasharata to come and help them. So that's is a very a brave warrior. And then after he got 3 wives, everybody knows. And from there, he didn't have children except one daughter. So after Putra Kamishti Yakna, they got the children. That's how the Ramayana started.
But
Ramayana, Rama's journey started.
Even the fact that like he couldn't have children is because a small sin that he committed before, the one that he hit
The curse.
Kamadhenu.
Yes.
Kamadhenu.
You want to maybe...
Yeah,
just
she
explain?
let her tell.
Yeah.
I know the story, but
It's
tell her.
I think he hit a person, right? He thought it was a
Ah.
deer.
No, that is different. That is a curse. He got it. He will die without any children beside him. That is Sharavanan. So actually, this he got a curse also from Kamadhenu. He took Nandini out or something, so they curse, then he won't get children.
The cow, right?
The cow.
Yeah,
Cow
yeah.
will curse. The Kamadhenu is the cow. So he cursed also. It will get children very difficult.
This story I haven't heard. But what I heard was a Sharavanan story.
Saravana story is the curse he getting. Dasharata is, I told you what, is very good in archery and all that, bow and arrow and all that. So he don't have to see a target
Correct.
to
The sound only, yeah.
sound is enough. So one day he was hunting in the forest. He heard some animal coming and drinking water like that. So he's so good one. So he just shot arrow and the cry came out, Amma. So he got a shock, He went there, one young boy taking water in the kodam, The sound is like that, wasn't it? Somebody drinking like that. Then he told he's so upset seeing this. Then he told, my parents are blind. I'm taking this water for them. So I will die. So can you please take this water and go to? So when he went there, then they know already somebody else came. So then he told, I'm king of Ayodhya, Dasharata. I accidentally killed your son. So for them, the son is the only
everything they have.
Nothing, nobody is there. He is the one looking, because both of them blind people. They need his support, and nobody is there to support them. So then he told, okay, you killed my son. When you die, no children will be around you. You will die alone. That's the curse.
That was the curse. So there's actually 2 different sets of curses, right?
That one is a children one.
This one is okay.
So then he did the Putra Kamishti Yakna. Then he pleased Kamadhenu also. Okay, he did puja for Kamadhenu and all that. So that one Pariharam he did, but this one cannot do. That's a curse, and they killed themselves, the parents.
Yeah, they committed suicide. I think the advice that Shravana gave the king was give them the water, ask them to come down, sit down, and then you tell the son, right? But I think he just...
Because they felt what? They drank the water from the hands of a killer.
Yeah.
The son's killer is in it. So they just, those days they can do Jivatyagam just like that. No? They can sacrifice their life just like that. They did that.
Okay, I think when we speak about Dasharata, right, I think one unique thing that what I heard the story was, when Dasharata was growing old, right, it's time for him to pass the kingdom to the next, to name the crown prince, to ask them to take over, right. There's one incident, what I heard, apparently he was taking up a glass of water by his bedside.
Fall down.
The glass slipped from his hand. So at the moment he decided, I'm done being king. Which means a king is supposed to have the capability to, hold the... He's supposed to take the sword and fight.
His strength is going off. He's not strong anymore to rule a country.
Yeah, so I think it's something that we can also learn in our life, right?
Yes. Some people hold on to the chair, so dearly. But certain time we had to give up our power. We had to take another person and train them or with them. That's why these people retire to forest after that, to do penance and they die there.
In those ancient times, there was like a system, right? Until a certain age, you are supposed to do certain things.
Yeah. So then they will go off. They'll pass the crown to the next person and they'll just leave to forest.
Yeah. And maybe Hamsa, you want to cover on the 2 boons that was granted. Do you want to explain a bit on that?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me try to recall. Okay, so so Kaikeyi saved Dasharata's life, right, in one of his fights. So then Dasharata said that I will grant you 2 boons, and then so that's at the back of the mind and all. So the time came where Rama is supposed to take up the throne, and then Mantra is there, of course. So Mantra is saying that don't let Rama take the throne. If not, the other 2 wives will start pushing you aside. You will be isolated, and somehow you are the favorite queen. So once that was said, then Kaikeyi was like, she started thinking, and she was like, I need to do something for myself to like secure my place and all. So that's when she asked for the boon. One is to make Bharata the king. Second is to send Rama to the forest for 14 years.
14 years,
Yep. So those are the 2 boons that she asked from Dasharata, and Dasharata is the type where he fulfills his dharma lah. Yeah, so he can't really say no. I need to keep Rama. He can't say that. So that's why Rama went to the forest.
But let me follow-up question to that, right? So he as a king, right, he's giving the kingdom to his son, right? He knows that Rama is the more capable person to take up the throne after him, right? So his duty as a king, shouldn't he give the best for the people? So there's 2 different duties here.
Yeah.
One is the boon that he gave his wife, okay? And another is to give the kingdom the best. Even in the kingdom also at that point of time, they wanted Rama to be their king. So by fulfilling one dharma, is he abandoning another dharma? What's your opinion about that?
I think.
How do you resolve this conflict?
I think if you look at it that way, yeah, he did let down the other dharma, which is to the people. But I think much in his life that he couldn't say no to her, and also his children. Anyway, Bharata is also his son, what? So he has to choose. At that point of time, he chose his family over people, over his duty as a king.
Auntie, do you have anything to add? Do you think what he did was right, or if you were
Well,
in
if you
position,
think about like that, he's a cruel man, listening to his wife's words and sending Rama to forest. But that is the fate, because Rama born to do certain duties. So if we see in the country, it won't be. So he don't know that part, but still the fate ask him to send Rama to forest. Okay, that's the one thing I can tell now, because there are other stories connected to that. So maybe that one I can tell later.
Okay.
So that's why he knows that, and of course as a king, he has to fulfill the promises he given. A king cannot give a promise just like that. If they break the promise, that means it's supposed to it's equal to dying.
Yeah, I think it's also the fact that Kaikeyi saved his life, so his life was literally at Kaikeyi's hands, So I think he probably also felt that he owed Kaikeyi something. So it could be that lah.
It's all the fate lah.
Yeah. So since we are already talking about Kaikeyi, right? I think Kaikeyi, to my perception lah, I think Kaikeyi is one character that is most misunderstood in the whole of Ramayana.
That's the thing I never want to tell you. That's why I just
So
kept it.
without Kaikeyi, there's no Ramayana. That's the way I feel it lah. But it's the character that we always criticize. Say, we say people who do this is like, hey, look at it behaving like Kaikeyi and all these things. Right? But I think it's the most misunderstood character. Right?
In India, they don't name a child Kaikeyi,
Correct.
because Kaikeyi is a bad mother. But Kaikeyi is not a bad mother at all. She loves all the children, all the 4 children equally, and especially Rama. Her favorite is Rama. So and then whoever poisoned her also, she got her own intellect, isn't it, to find out. But actual part is that even the Devas approached her, actually. Only she can stop the coronation. Rama born to kill all the demons. Okay, once he take over the kingdom, he never going to leave the kingdom, Ayodhya. He won't go from there. Because Rama is very dharmic person. If he become a king, he had to look after the people only. That's why before the coronation, they stopped the coronation part, because then they had to send. So the Devas went and told them, you are the only person, because if she demand that, the king has to oblige.
Yeah.
Okay, so they prayed. So she told, how can I send my Rama to forest? Then they told, no, you have to please, you have to do this for the sake of humankind, for the Devas also. Ravana is doing a lot of things. He is born to kill Ravana. So how can we keep him here? So finally, she agreed to the Devas. There is a story behind it. Okay, there is a story behind that. And Kaikeyi acted as a cruel woman. And she got all the blame. And she took all the blame for herself. But if he didn't do that, if he didn't send, why she had to send? She can ask king, make my son exactly. Why you want to send Rama to forest of 14 years? Because he need to kill there are a lot of that time demons in the country. They had to destroy everybody, and Ravana is the worst. He was making havoc. Okay, so they had to kill. He need to be in the forest. So for that, she sacrificed her name, and the son didn't talk to her until Rama came back. Bharata, because Bharata came to know that she did all this for him, he abandoned the mother. I told, you are not my mother anymore. So she took that pain. Her husband died. That blame also on her. So she took a lot of pain for the sake of humankind. So I tell you, salute to Kaikeyi.
Yeah, I mean, to look at it from one perspective, she looks like, oh, she's a bad woman. Right? But then there's actually a lot of shades. Imagine what she would have gone through. Right?
That's the thing I'm telling you. She took everything.
I think she really took in all the four as her own sons, right? So it's a toll
her
on
own son don't want to talk to her. 14 years he didn't talk to her until Ram came back, and Ram told Bharat, go and talk to your mother. Then only she. So until that 14 years, her mother was holding the tears, and in front of everybody, a villainy. Okay.
It's sad.
Quite
actually,
sad.
quite sad thing. Quite sad thing. I always, first of all, I think, Kaikeyi shouldn't have a mother like this, So, like a stepmother's treatment like that. We always the Kaikeyi will irukku stepmother. Because,
I never crossed my mind until you said even in India today people don't name their children Kaikeyi, right? I think Sumitra they name, Kausalya they name, all the others, every
but
character they
Kaikeyi's
name.
name, did you ever heard?
No.
Nowadays, I don't know, slowly coming up, I think, recently or something. But no. Now people are understanding, people are getting, analyzing from different views. So
Recently, I mean, currently I'm reading a book on Kaikeyi. It's actually it's a fictional story, but it's written based on Kaikeyi's perspective of the whole thing. And when you realize, right, when you read it, right, you realize that in a way she was just being, even if you ignore all this whatever you higher goal and all these things, right? Even if you look at it from a basic point of view, right, she's just a mother who wants the best for the son. That's all. I think even today any mother would do the same thing, right?
The same thing they will do. And somebody is there to poke her also.
Yeah.
Hey, if you didn't do, your son won't get it and all that. But at the same time, that is one way, the mother's point of view. I'm a mother, I want my child to be best. But the whole thing, she sacrificed her happy life for the sake of humankind,
Hamsa, do you have anything to add?
No. Aunties amazingly said all of it.
No. I'm just telling.
Yeah.
If you observe certain characters in Ramayana, there are a lot of stories behind it.
No, I'm just thinking like the amount of pressure that she might have went through. She can't even probably can't even talk to anyone about it. because
Everybody
she's been
blamed her for
isolated.
killing the husband.
Yeah.
Everybody blamed her for sending a son. She so close to the forest, and the son came back and telling, "You are not my mother anymore."
Yeah, I think literally everybody abandoned her,
If
right?
he didn't go, Rama never be a hero there.
That's why I said no, there's no Ramayana. What's the
Ramayana, isn't it?
It's just a king who
Ramayana
lived.
is not there, and
Yeah.
Rama is now we are worshipping Rama as a hero. Rama is a zero there. If she didn't do means,
Yeah.
we don't know who is Rama after that.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think, of course, now we have come to the most important character of Ramayana. I think is the character that has been most dissected, always questioned whether what he did was right or wrong, which is Rama.
Oh, Rama.
Rama. So even today, I think there's a consistent debate saying that what Rama did was Rama's action actually dharmic, adharmic. I think there's a lot of incidents in the Ramayana that we can talk about, right? Maybe you want to give an
something
introduction.
simple. Tell us what incident is that?
There's a lot, Auntie. I think one of it is basically the Sita's Agni Pariksha.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Actually, there
I
are
see that.
you got anything?
No.
Okay.
I was about to bring up the incident because
Okay.
yeah.
Agni Parisha. Actually, there are two versions there.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, one version. Actually, Sita was not the real Sita went to Lanka.
Okay.
It's Sita's Maya. That means Sita went to Agni, and from the Agni came out the clone. We used to tell clone is a clone of that man, and like that Sita came. Maya Sita. We tell Maya Sita came out. So because Rama knows that the incident is going to come. Okay, so that is one thing. So when he did the Agni Parisha, the Maya Sita went inside the fire, and the real Sita came out. For that
Switching.
that's why he asked her to go directly. That is one version. Another version, if you tell our normal this one, Rama did it because of that. That doesn't that he don't believe her, he don't trust her. He knows Sita, the most purest person in the world. Okay, he knows everything about her, but to answer, lot of people. 1 year she was in somebody's home. Okay, so she had to prove herself her innocence. Okay, so that one to show that he asked her to enter
The fire.
the fire. Okay, so the fire is the one who purifies everything. So once then the Agni came and told, no, Sita is the most pure person. Agni came and told him, don't do this because she. So he knows Sita in and out, but he did it for others, whoever the spectators, the Vanaras there, all of them there, in front of them he did it. But that's only time Lakshmana got angry and scolded his brother. Lakshmana is an obedient brother. First time he scolded him because he sent Sita to the fire. But there are two versions. I like to believe that first version that Sita was a clone in the Ayodhya, and she was with the Agni, the real Sita. So once the clone went inside Sita, that's why Rama asked her to enter the fire and come out. That also very nice story about it.
But I think for me, morally, this has been always like in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
It's a
It's a bit
dilemma.
conflicting,
It's a conflicting one.
So this version is good because he want to take out his real Sita from the Agni. So for that, he asked her to enter. Other one is just want to show it to the world that she's pure. But still,
sure.
he took one word from the washerman and he abandoned
It's a
her.
later story,
Okay, so
we'll come to that.
so that's why it's still
Yes.
still the question.
So Hamsa, on this particular Agni Pariksha incident, right? What's your opinion? How maybe you can explain on whether is this incident relatable to modern life, our life right now?
Yeah, so I mean, when I first read this story, right, I was quite young, So I was wondering, like, fire. The first thought is definitely this cannot be real. How can you go into the fire and come out alive, right? So that was when I was younger. But as I got older, I felt like why she need to do that? Why not Rama also go and do? because Rama was also away. I mean, of course, he's not
Technically,
staying
yes,
in
yeah.
another place, but it's about two people, you know.
Yes.
It cannot just be like one person trying to show purity and what Rama just sit there and let Sita come out. So, I mean, I know they are like worshipped and all, but of course, as a human, these kind of thoughts will come lah. You will just start to question whether there's actually like, you know, equality or not. This kind of thoughts will come out lah.
In a society, whatever happens, the lady is always blamed. Okay? A leaf fall on a thorn, or the thorn fall on a leaf, the blame is only for the leaf. Okay, thorn nothing. Okay?
Yeah, I think that's the world that
Okay?
we live in.
Whatever it is, whatever way, whatever in your own house also, anything do, the ladies are to be blamed.
It's
Now,
also like how, actually, I think a lot of like rules in the family or like generally in society, right, is because of what other people will say. You know, if you do this, if you you know, go out, what other people will say. If you wear like this, what other people will say. It's a lot of like, why you need to think about other people. So, you know, it's
you are telling now also, some girls dress up with modern dress or something. People, you look at that girl walking around like that. Anything happened to her? Because her dressing lah. She dress up like this only. They don't blame the person who did bad to her, but they'll dress up. They blame her dressing up. Because of her dressing up, that person came and attacked her. See who is in fault here? So this is the nature of our society. Everywhere, whatever happened. So that's why Rama asked her to enter he knows pretty well what is she, but he want to make sure other people, he just ask her to go. Still is there. But as I told you, ladies have to undergo all the Agni Parishas, only the ladies have to go.
My honest view is like, he trusts his wife, so why does it matter? It's my view lah. And he's the king, right?
No, that time he was not a king. That's why he did the
okay,
Agni Parisha that time. He satisfied he satisfied the people who at that time was around. It's all the Vanara and Vibhishana and all that. Just few people was there. But when he was a king, the story changed.
We want to explain that, Auntie?
That's
when he was a king, right?
King, that's the time the washerman
Hmm.
talked about. As a king, his duty towards the people. Okay? The people get upset and people talk about him and his family is not good it's not a model for the country. He should be a role model for the country and the people. Isn't it? So, if he is not a king that time, he will ask them to just go, or he will follow his wife and go. He still asks his all other brothers, can you take up the kingdom? Can be the king? I want to live with my Sita. But no brothers wanted to come and do it because they respect their brother so much. They don't want to take up the kingdom. So what happened is that he still continuing as the king. So when he was a king, he got a duty towards the country and the people. He has to be the role model. If somebody talk bad about you, you are not a role model now. To save that, and he knows fully that his wife is so good and so pure, he has to send her away. That's a two different things.
Maybe I'll put that same question to Hamsa, right? So, as a king, right? As a king, shouldn't he be listening to the opinion of all the subjects? Just because one person said something, was it right for Rama to do this action? Because I think any leader or anyone also, even I think if we take Swami for instance also, right? There are some people who worship him to agree with him, and there are still some people who say, there will be a certain percentage of people who, no matter how good you do also, they'll do this. But as a king, shouldn't he taken into consideration everybody's opinion? One person out of a large vast kingdom said something. For that, he sent his wife, wife away.
I think for Rama, looking at it from like our perspective, right? He's someone who really values purity.
Okay.
So I think when there's a little stain or so, it really mattered to him lah. So at that point of time, he just wanted to be like a pure clean slate. There's no like black dots on it. So he had to take the decision and send Sita away. So I guess I mean, if you want to study his character, it seems like that lah, that he just don't want any bad name to come to him or his family.
No, the thing is that, okay, today one person will tell. Tomorrow, it will be 2 people will be talking about that. It spreads. Okay, rumors will spread like a fire. Today, you tell, oh, that one all nonsense lah, no lah. Then after some time, is it true or not? Then you started telling other people. So today one person he stopped and he sent him. The whole country otherwise would have been against him. That is the truth, isn't it?
But
The
then again,
rumors
like,
will,
as a
rumors will.
Yeah.
he should have just called the guy and punished him, right?
Oh no, that means the whole country had to punish later. Oh, you're talking bad about my family? I'm going to kill you. Cannot. He's a dharmic king, First duty is very dutiful and very dharmic person.
But even that is dharma. What you are punishing someone who speaks a lie, right?
No, lie, because nobody can close mouth of a person. You cannot close somebody's mouth, So only thing he can do is that, best is that, who he is affecting and his wife is affecting with this thing, he has to settle themselves. Sita understood his dilemma, so she also willing to go away.
But what dharma is it like in this case? Sending her away, what did it accomplish? Shouldn't this be clarified in some way?
No, that's the thing. At that time, he didn't get. He also was very upset. So maybe he wanted to. So Sita also thought, okay, Sita want to go away to pilgrimage like that. So after that, she thought, okay, I'll go away for a while. That's why.
So it was Sita's decision in a way.
Sita also decided. Sita agreed to that because this is affecting him, affecting the country, affecting his rule. Actually, he was not happy at all. He wanted to go away with her. So nobody is there to look after the kingdom.
I also think like it's also because Sita has already gone into the fire and she came out, and even after that people are still talking, So I mean, the fact that she went into the fire, she went through pain and she came out, and still there are people still talking about it. So I think probably Rama is at the point where even she sacrificed so much and people are still blaming her. So at that point he probably don't want Sita to be more affected by that lah. It could be that also.
So it could be in a way act of compassion in a way.
Yeah,
maybe
just to
he
protect
thought
her maybe.
Later part he can clear the whole thing, Maybe. But cleared. Later part he cleared already what.
Yeah, because I think there's different a particular incident, a particular decision, there's like multiple ways that you can look
Interpret,
into.
yeah.
That's everybody's view. If I read that, I think, oh, he's a nice man because he has, as a king, he has to be the role model. So he sent the wife away because this is only 2 people only getting affected. If he didn't do anything, the whole country will get affected. And tomorrow, something will happen. The washerman also, his wife went to another person, another house and came back. He was blaming her. I'm not Rama to take you. That is what he told. I'm not Rama to take you back because you went and stayed somebody's house one night. So that will spread around.
I mean, imagine Rama being used for like that kind of example. And
so it's not nice.
King,
so these 2 people decided. This affecting their life, they decided, not the whole country.
But I also think that it's very, very hard for us to think from a perspective of a king, because we are not playing that role.
Yes,
for us, it's all about, family, people around us. We really care about the people, right? And we are not in such a leadership position that we can think in that perspective. So it's very, I mean, from being being in our position, I don't think we'll be able to comprehend what was going in Rama's mind that period.
I think in all the characters that we looked so far, right, Dasharata, Kaikeyi, now Rama, all of them really put forward the role of a king, the role of a head of
Ruler,
a country.
That is the age, The Treda age, Satyuga, then Treda Yuga. Still the truth is prevails. You know.
Yep.
There's always
so-
a sense of segregation of dharma, right? There's your
dharma.
duty as a king
Yeah,
is higher
definitely.
than family.
When come to now Kali Yuga, which leader is going to do like this?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's applicable also. I think
Ah,
any leader also.
no, don't do.
No,
Nobody
it's
will,
not
because
about them being right or
our
wrong.
morality, our dharmic role is reduced, you know. So we don't think, oh, this is, we have to do like this way. This is what is, I'll prefer, that is what is good for me, I'll do.
I think,
No more thinking about others.
I think at that point, probably during Treta Yuga, where Dasharata and Rama were around, the people worship their king. At now Kali Yuga, do we worship our leaders? We don't, right?
I don't think there's
yeah.
anyone worth worship.
So I really think it's different circumstances.
That's why
lah.
that
Like
in this age, you talked about Swami. Swami, people are talk bad about him. Swami don't care.
Yeah.
Swami, yes, but in this age, you know.
Mm.
But he is Rama that
Mm,
time.
mm.
He was Sri Rama, isn't he, that time? He did it. So this age, he knows that this is not applicable.
I think if you really look at it,
Mm.
at every age,
Ah.
there's a particular trait to it. In Rama's age, this was this action. When people said something, he took it seriously and he,
Yeah, yeah.
he changed himself. In Krishna's age, I think if somebody wrongs you, you fight back.
Mm,
That was the
yeah.
message.
Rama,
this-
even fighting also, he was very this one.
Yes,
If
correct.
you have a weapon only, that opponent must have the weapon.
Dharma.
But that person can hit him,
Ah.
but he won't hit. So that dharmic
Dharmic
person. And Swami was Sri Rama that time. So he knows, isn't it?
So I think the
that,
solution for Kali Yuga is somebody said bad about it, just ignore and move
ignore,
on.
ignore, and that's only way we can
Yeah,
live.
yeah.
Otherwise, we cannot live in this world.
I also think the level of negativity is different lah. Probably in Treta Yuga, it's probably like 30%, 50%.
ಇಲ್ಲ
And then,
ಅತ್ರ ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲ ತ್ರೈತಾಯುಗಗಳು negativity
No, I
very
said,
less.
Yeah.
During
So-
the Satya Yuga was 100% good.
100%.
Yeah.
Then it was like 75,
Ah,
25%.
that is only the demons are. That's why they put it
yes.
demons, you know.
now everyone are
so
humans
that's-
walking
now
around.
everybody demon and
Oh, they used to say that in the Satya Yuga, all were good, all were gods.
yeah.
After that, it's like,
Yeah.
they
Little bit,
separate the demons and there's people. In the Kali Yuga, they said, in every
Cousins
in
itself.
every man, there's a demon and there's a god.
Yeah, there's a
They have to
cousins
put
itself, you
together.
know, good and bad. Okay, cousins. They are fighting among themselves. Now,
Fight with your own self.
Fight with your own self, literally.
Yeah. I mean, decisions and all, that's how we make,
Correct,
right?
correct. There's always a two voice within you.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. So we have spoken about Rama, right? And so I think people will always say, even today, right, when you say about good governance, they always use the term
Ramarajyam.
Ramarajya. It's like the, what you call that, the benchmark of good governance, right? What do you think Auntie Ramarajya stood for?
these are the things, la, the way we are talking about, the good rule, dharma prevails. So when there is dharma, the proper rain will come, proper food will be there, people are happy. There is no, nothing is, they got everything. Okay, so they are happy. So these are the Ramarajyam. And king is ruling according to the wish of people.
But even
Not his
during
wish.
the Rama's time, right? From what I have read, there's like heavy punishments are still there, like for heavy crimes like stealing, all these things. The
Very
crimes are still
seldom,
there.
very seldom people are stealing because they got everything.
Enough.
So why they wanted to go and steal? People are having because still like a washerman there, the farmer is there, all there. According to the job, the people are there. There is a little bit of wealth also is not like that only. Not everybody equal. Everybody is not equal. They got wealth also. Some people are poor, some people are there. But still they have everything. They are not lacking anything.
What do you think, Hamsa? What do you think is Ramarajya mean to you, maybe?
I think, like what Auntie said, it's what we've spoken about the whole time. So I think Rama is a person where he doesn't allow a taint on him, So that's why he's considered as such a dharmic person. Like every single role that he was given, he played it like perfectly, And I mean, of course, there will be debates about like certain decisions that he took. But like I said, we don't know what will be going on in a mind of a king or ruler or a husband, so I think the fact that Rama didn't allow anyone to come into his circle and taint him, I think that's why he's considered dharmic lah.
That's why he called Maryada Purushottam. Okay? Rama got
You
another
want to
name is
explain
Maryada Purushottam is the perfect man.
I don't know, when I think of Rama, I just sense this like very prim and proper and
That's a perfect
very
man.
composed person, he can make decisions for himself.
Calm.
Very, very, very calm. So I think even I've never met Rama, right? But I have this image because of all the things that we've read in Ramayana.
Interesting, I think.
I
Rama, we speak about Rama, right? Even today, I mean, his decisions are questioned, his decisions are debated, but
He's still
wherever you go, Rama is the respected figure. Right?
exactly, yeah.
Even I think in some parts of India this today, right? There's different versions. If you see in Sri Lanka, Ravana is also respected, very highly respected. And but wherever it is, they never say that Rama is a bad guy. Everywhere he's a god. Even in Sri Lanka, they say he's a god.
Yeah.
So I think that's the mark of a perfect man lah. And
Maryada
even
Purushottam.
even in the avatars also, all the avatars of Lord Vishnu, Rama was the first Purna avatar, right?
Purna Avataram. Because you can see first Malsya Avataram.
Correct.
That can only live in water.
Yeah.
Then tortoise. Can live both
Land,
sides.
water.
Land and water. Then came the boar. Land. Okay. Then came half man and half animal.
Animal.
Okay. From there, the dwarf.
Vamana.
You see the
Yeah,
evolution.
yeah.
Then come the angry man, Parashurama. From there, a complete man came. That is Rama.
Interesting. Okay. So I think when we speak about
Darwin's evolution, we tell from the monkey to
Yes,
how it
yes.
came. The same way we have our own
Evolution.
evolution, Vishnu's evolution.
actually that's
Dasharata.
a bigger topic to talk about,
about,
right?
yeah.
I think because I think our forefathers have hidden the great sciences of life in simple terms like stories, all these things.
Yeah,
But if you
yeah.
really analyze it, it's actually part of a bigger science.
But Darwin's theory, we know very well. But Dasharata,
Same lah, auntie. They say your karma will bite you, and then
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
the apple fell on Newton's head, and they said, opposite equal reaction. I think that this is knowledges that we have lost.
So these are the things children also have to
Correct.
understand.
Yeah. So I think when we speak about the perfect man, I think it's important that we speak about the perfect woman also. So I think Sita is often said
Sita.
as a perfect woman, right? So maybe we start with a simpler question lah, not related to Sita. Hamsa, in your mind, right, who is a perfect woman, you think?
I don't have a perfect woman image in my head.
Okay.
Yeah, but I also think there's two perfect women lah. So one is what the society think it's perfect. So I don't know. She doesn't talk back. There's this societal image lah. Doesn't talk back. She's always dressed proper. She knows exactly every time what she's doing. If she's married, she does her duty towards her husband, her children. So I think that's what the society think a perfect woman is. But I think in my opinion, over the years things change lah. So for me, a perfect woman is someone who always has a balance, and they know what is right and wrong. So I cannot give you like an entire image of what a perfect woman is, but all I can say is someone that has a balance lah. Yeah.
Okay, auntie, maybe the same question to you.
Whatever she said, that's
Okay,
the only thing.
acceptable. Yeah, okay. So I think when you say about Sita, right? Sita, why do you think Sita was right in her way, auntie? Because I think if you look at Sita's life, right, she was born a princess, and it's
She's not
she has
born prince. She's
came
from
out.
the
correct.
under
She was,
earth. What?
adopted, right? Yeah.
So she, after plowing the land, so he found out that baby girl. So he had adopted her as a daughter, but she got all the love and affection from the family. They brought her up like her own daughter,
But you look at her, right? Like throughout her life, there's nothing but hardship, right? You
She.
look at
She don't have any hardship. She was a princess.
Okay.
And she married to another kingdom, okay? A princess. They are also the wife of a prince. Then what happened? Before the coronation, she going to be the queen. The coronation, they had to go to forest. She left everything behind. All the luxuries, all the facilities, everything left behind. She followed her husband. Because that is her dharma. She told that is her dharma and follow. She followed her husband and the brother-in-law. Then, and she lived a simple life, princess life too, a simple life where whatever fruits they get and they make, because it's staying in the forest. And still she was very happy with the life. She never complained. She never showed face. Nowadays children, a wife, anything goes wrong, dark face will come. No, we will do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but she was taking everything in her side, and a cruel demon came and kidnapped her. And she was 1 year under the tree where rain, shine, everything she was taking. She don't have any other shelter, only that tree. Under the tree, she was waiting for her husband to come and take her. So, that is not hardship. Okay. Then after that, her husband came and released her, asked her to enter the fire. If you think about her perspective, her point of view, my husband asked me to enter the thing. She obeyed. Okay, she obeyed and came back. She had started her new life. Everything forgotten, and she trying to start a new life. People start talking about her innocence and her character. So she and her husband had to take a decision to leave. She left. Again went back to forest. There she delivered, and she had to bring her the children. She needed to go and cut the wood to get firewoods to cook for themselves. All the things she did. She underwent a lot of hardship, isn't it? But still she took it as a part of her life. She didn't complain to anybody. And she lived a life of a what do you call criminal, like because that person blamed, you are not good. That's why she left. So everybody, she left because she was not good. That blame was on her all the time. That black mark was on her until she cleared the last part. She cleared and she went back to the Mother Earth. She left her body. She suffered a lot, but we didn't know, but she was silently suffered everything. That is my version of Sita.
No, I think it's really beautifully said. That was my question. It's a constant difficulty after difficulty. But
constant
I think
difficulty, but she never blamed, never complained. She never gave guilty conscience to her husband. Because of you, I'm here.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's why she's considered ideal. I mean, she can take on that much of hardship.
Nobody can take that
exactly.
type of
I think even if we were put in that kind of situation, I don't think we'd have reacted like that. We probably made a big drama about it.
Big drama. We'll make a hassle, fighting, tearing, all the time crying. Because of you, I'm here. I'm as a princess in my family. I'm married to you. And my fate, look at my fate now. She didn't tell that.
Yeah, but I think it's the extreme of how much
a
a
person
woman
can
take, I think, right?
Yeah.
It's really, she took everything. And I think it's total opposite scenario now, right? So I think maybe the ideal lies somewhere in between. I honestly, what I felt was Sita really took a lot, which if she just said no, the situation would have changed.
Maybe she haven't learned how to say no.
I guess so. The way I see it is she doesn't have to go through all this.
Yeah.
I think the first no she could have said is when, the exile, right? She had option to say no. Nobody asked her to go.
Even Rama forced her to stay back.
Yes.
Yeah.
But she followed.
So if it's a perspective again, like you say, my husband asked me to stay, so I stay. It's perspective what? So she's still fulfilling her dharma of following what her husband said. But she still followed. And the kidnapping and all these things, right?
She was sad. She was a sad woman. Waiting for her husband to come and release.
Yeah. So I think do you find it relatable to the modern woman like Sita's character? Do you think you can? Is there anything to learn?
I think probably like one generation above us, probably they are going through what Sita is going through, because I think they are like kind of sandwich generation lah. You know, they have to take things from their parents and from the children, like our generation and all. Because I would say that my generation, everyone's starting to like be more vocal. So if like something's not right, we will just say it. You know, we don't have that. Of course, there's a respectable way of saying it, but we don't have that thing like, oh, why am I, you know, going against another person? There's no such thing like that, you know. So so the generation like my parents and all, they are, when they grew up, they are told to be, you know, you cannot talk back to elders. They are given a certain ideal that they need to live up to. But when it came to us, we were like, no, why? No, we keep asking a lot of why, and so I think I'm probably not the generation that can relate to Sita, but probably, you know, my mom or like anyone that's the generation before me, they probably can relate lah. Yeah.
Okay, right.
And probably there's a lot of suffering that they also go through, like family, and they are put in a place where they have to keep quiet about it, you know, they can't speak openly about it. So yeah, I do think that I mean, that situation is there lah, just that, you know, we're not talking about it like Sita. Yeah.
Right. Interesting conversations we're having so far. So I think this episode is a bit too long to just squeeze into a single session. So we will be splitting this episode into two parts. So part 1 is what you have watched so far, and for part 2 we will continue back again in the next episode of Chai with Sai. So until then, we thank you all for joining with us, and do follow the following sequel of our discussion today on the characters of Ramayana. So with that, we thank our audience for today.
Sai Ram. Sai Ram. Sai Ram.